The Egyptian military already launching airstrikes against the terrorists behind Friday's mosque attack. The country's chief prosecutor says militants were carrying ISIS flags when they bombed a mosque in the Sinai Peninsula, killing more than 300. With us now, Rebecca Grant, president of IRIS Independent Research, PhD from the London School of Economics and International Relations, formerly on staff with the Secretary of the Air Force. Rebecca, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
You might say colorful language, certainly forceful language from President El-Sisi, saying they're going to confront these militants with brutal strength. Words are great. Do they have the ability to back it up?
Egypt has an incredibly capable, competent military. So we've already seen some airstrikes carried out. We're looking at the footage. It looks like it was U.S.-made F-16s that conducted a precision weapons attack. The Egyptian army has been dealing with ISIS Sinai since 2011. That's back before the Iraq-Syria caliphate. We've seen an escalation in that conflict this year, but my money is absolutely on the Egyptian military to take care of this problem. I would not be surprised. Yeah,
Rebecca, though, you say your money might be on it, they have the ability, but if they have the ability and they have U.S. weapons and a lot of them because of the peace deal with Israel, the U.S. gives them a lot of weapons. Really, they can't take care of a couple of guys in Hilux pickup trucks running around the Sinai?
That was the big question. They were really quick to respond after the attack, but of course, tragically couldn't pick it up early enough. But it's important that they were able to track those vehicles. That suggests to me they have some pretty sophisticated surveillance and intelligence, and were able to go ahead and track those vehicles back to the ISIS nest that launched them.
You think it was their surveillance or the Israelis?
You know, it's hard to say. Did Egypt have a little bit of help, and who was it from? The anti-ISIS coalition is pretty big, so there could have been other people helping them, yes. But there's no question there would have been at least some of the of the Egyptian sensors on the ground. Egypt flies drones. There's a possibility there. But it's very much in Israel's interest, too, big picture, to confine all that to Sinai and not to see a spillover of conflict.
Well, and that's really the question, right? Vis-a-vis Israel and sort of the broader security cooperation issue there. Egypt is a stalwart ally of the United States, certainly under El-Sisi. Under Morsi, it was a different question. A stalwart supporter and ally of Israel. Israel shares a more than 100-mile border there with the Sinai. What's the threat of this spreading just beyond mosques in Sinai and into Cairo or into Tel Aviv?
Well, and we did see the attacks, the tragic attacks up on in Alexandria and the other city on Palm Sunday. So we know that ISIS Sinai wants to carry out attacks across Egypt. They'd like to unravel Egypt. They'd like to see civil war. Egypt is the big prize to them. 97 million people. They'd love to get a foothold, but not much of a chance. And I think Israel may quietly do what they can to assist and make sure that that ISIS threat does not spread any further. We had reports about the Israelis helping to unravel some of the intelligence about possible ISIS laptop attacks. So it's safe to say I think we see some cooperation among the intelligence services. It's in everybody's interest worldwide to stamp out ISIS and prevent ISIS from making Egypt their next battleground.
What do you make of the fact now that as ISIS has lost their caliphate, essentially, especially with the fall of the capital of Raqqa, that they've now become a little bit better in their PR? AP with a report now that they are using these very slick graphics. They've gotten better in terms of their promotion, even comparing jihadis to movie figures like Bruce Willis in Die Hard.
Well, they're a despicable bunch, and I think Chairman Dunford put it well when he said ISIS is now trying to capitalize on local insurgencies like Sinai, like the movements we see down in Africa. So they want good, slick PR to capitalize on the local insurgencies. All the more important that we do what we can with the anti-ISIS coalition to assist local militaries, whether that's Egypt or Niger or so many other countries, to make sure that ISIS can't get a foothold and can't resume operations.
Yeah, and as you point out, there's a lot of governments who are more than happy to go help the Egyptians on that. Dr. Grant, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good talking to you. Laura.